What's up, guys? Welcome back to Beard Bites. I'm Hadi, and this is Ahmed. And I know you guys have been biting down on some turkey, but it's time to bite down on some news.
Oh Lord, man.
This guy
We g-
stinks.
we got more in store for episode 4.
Ooh. All right, guys, that's the episode. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week where we make it funnier. But no, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. I grabbed a like loin of New York strip
Nice.
and was able to cook it out. So I have a lot of beef that I gotta eat.
I got beef
And I
with you
got a
too.
lot of beef with some people. No, I'm joking. It was good, man. It was just I attended a siblings giving where everybody was a sibling.
Nice.
It was like, oh yeah, so it was juicy.
That's nice.
Shout out to my sister-in-law.
Nice.
How about you? How's your Thanksgiving?
It was good. We have a either yearly or bi-yearly, as in every other year, just depending on when we can. But we try to go to Austin for Thanksgiving. And this year we went to Austin with. This was the first time that my brother's wife joined us because obviously this is the first year they're married together with Thanksgiving in the play. And it was nice. Like they got it was very chill. We just chilled outside with the family. My cousin had a nice fire pit. We just vibed together and ate s'mores, had turkey. It was a pretty respectable spread,
Nice, that's good.
But it was good overall. The drive wasn't too bad either. So beat holiday traffic both going out and coming in. So it was a nice, very vibey weekend or I guess break. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good, man.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to play anything during the week? Anything, while you were off? Get to splurge on anything like that, or what's the move?
Man, from last time I was like, let me check out some of these game of the year contenders, and I was listening to another podcast, and they mentioned that Metaphor Refantazio has a demo, so I played the demo on an airplane. Landed and I was like, dude, you should probably play the demo. And I think at that point you played it probably before me.
No, I played it after you recommended it.
Oh really?
Yeah,
oh,
after you said we should try it, I'm like, okay, I'll try it.
Because it was like a demo, dude. And then, dude, the demo, like you told me, the demo was 9 hours long.
Yep.
I was like, dude, this is
long demo.
Insane, man.
Did you play it on Steam Deck? How did it run on Steam Deck for the demo?
Steam Deck it was good. I mean, it's a turn-based game, so it's nothing too crazy. But the thing that kind of piqued my interest was I was watching this or listening to the podcast, and these dudes were like, "Oh, this game is so great because of racism." And I'm not gonna lie, dude. It's like you're like it takes place in a world where I guess like human isn't the default. So like you have like these. It's so weird. There's like these cat people. Like they're all humanoids, but they have cat ears.
There's 9 races in this world.
Yeah.
9 clans is how they describe it. Cat people, like goat people with horns.
Yeah, and then wing people. Yeah, so it's like you're seeing all this stuff, and you're playing as like the lowest class person.
Yeah,
and you're essentially, you essentially get put in like I'm like super paraphrasing, and this is not really a spoiler. It's like in the first couple. It's like in the. It's
if it's in the demo, I think it's fine to talk about. That's my take.
It's basically, King dies, and they said, "Oh, who's gonna be the successor?" And then they just run a game show. It's not really a game show, but it's like a popularity contest to see who's gonna be the next king. So you're basically starting off at the very bottom of the societal like pole, and then I'm assuming you're gonna walk your way up.
Oh yes, yeah.
But we have Steam family share, and Hadi bought the game, and I just I threw like 15 hours into the game, so that's
oh, you passed the demo. You're done with the demo.
Yeah. It's very addictive. But
you haven't hit your 10-hour like all right tapping out mark yet though. So
oh no, so my tapping out mark is usually like 30 or 40 hours in.
Okay.
But we'll see how it goes. It's interesting. Like, because the way this game came out, especially it landed during the election cycle, the whole thing is literally just talking about racism and how you have to be fair and we have to be the right leaders and things like this, and like, oh, you can't let this other guy be the leader, and it's like, oh, this is literally like, I think it's good that this
Relevant.
game it's good that this game came out or was made by a Japanese developer. Also, let me take a step back. This game, if for folks that don't know, is made by the same people that made the
Persona games.
Persona games.
Yes.
Actually, I feel like I can talk a lot about this game actually.
Yeah, same.
About like,
Okay,
so
we can get into it after. Okay, so I didn't play anything except for, I think I only, let me hold on, let me check my Steam recently played real quick. Yeah, I also just played Metaphor and League. We downloaded it because Arcane, but we don't have to talk about that.
League,
We don't have to talk about that dark path. Yeah, so I also played Metaphor. So that's something to maybe like, I guess, yeah, my week is done. That's it. So we can transition to Metaphor talk a little bit if you'd like. No spoilers at the moment. So
no
yeah.
spoilers. All I'm gonna say is it's interesting that this game. Or I'll talk about the premise real quick, just for kind of gameplay.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Yeah.
Because I've this is my first like Atlas style game, or what I guess Atlas is a publisher, it's not really a developer. But like the people that made Metaphor made Persona, and the whole flow is you're given like quests or tasks that have to be done by a certain, like, the main story is like, oh, a big event's gonna happen in 5 days, and so you have 5 days to figure out like things to do to fill that time. And it's so interesting because I've never had like analysis paralysis before, like in a video game, where like, oh, so the day is split up into like day, night, and if you do one thing to progress your character, or improve
Progress your attributes or something.
Yeah, progress your attributes. It's like, oh, dude, like I need to improve my wisdom. It's like, okay, like let me go read a book. That's gonna take half a day. Or let me go improve my public speaking. That takes half a day. Let me go increase like my tolerance or imagination or other things. It's like half a day, and then the other half is like, oh, you can, like, if you want to improve your bonds with your characters and all this stuff, that takes half a day. Or like, it's so you're finding yourself like, oh my god, like I have to like optimize the decisions I make, and there's some decisions that if you miss it, it'll take like a whole week before you can come back and like revisit it. Like,
Yeah.
I think like meeting with like your companions, like they have like a moment when they like try to open up to you. If you don't meet them, then I think it closes off until they open up again, and so it's like, okay.
Okay. I haven't gotten to that part. Like I've gotten like one bond with one character a little bit higher, but yeah, okay. That's what I was going to ask about. That's okay.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I'm just like, oh god, dude, it's like 5 days. I can't travel here. It takes 2 days to travel, and the boss thing is gonna happen in 1 day. Oh my god, and yeah.
The stress of real life planning comes into video games, and that's what makes it good, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's funny because like in Persona, it made a lot more sense.
Or in
Persona was, yeah, you're in school and you have to like, oh, do you keep up your social life, or do you study for exams, or do you have to do this? And then here it's like, oh, maybe I'll just not be tolerant. Let me continue the thing of racism and just not take.
Yeah, so that's how I jumped into the game as well. Your tagline was, "Dude, this game is based on racism. You should try it out." And I was like, "All right, like, fair enough." I'm also having a really good time with it. I played the demo and I got to the dungeon, and I didn't finish the dungeon, but I think I started or something. Whatever the case is, I started the dungeon, paused it halfway through, left, and then it's like, hey, if you leave now, demo's over. And I was like, dang, I really want to play this some more. So I bought the game.
Yeah.
And here we are now. I haven't played it since, demo time, but I'm liking it a lot. Same thing as you. Like the timekeeping mechanic is really interesting. I haven't like gotten a lock on it yet to where it's like making sure I'm optimizing my time, but figuring that process out is really helpful. And it's really nice. I think so. I tried Persona 5, I think, before, and I bounced off of it super hard. Because I was not a fan of the whole dating thing.
Oh yeah.
Whether like, I don't know what it was. It just really didn't sit with me, and I just didn't enjoy it. And I was like, I don't care about this like setting. But I'm a mark for fantasy stuff, so like this is a lot more like digestible for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. This one I did not. I was literally gonna say the same thing. Like I don't think I'm the target demographic, but for some reason, this game really has a hold on me.
Yeah.
But and it's interesting. Like I think this is the point I was gonna say earlier, but like I want to talk about the context.
Yeah.
It's honestly I'm surprised. Like it's good that this game came from not America, right? It's made by a Japanese studio, and because like the themes and stuff that they talk about here, instantly you would get hit with the what this game is DEI.
This guy, yeah,
bro. Okay, you are a brown-skinned, blue-haired, skinny dude walking around with
short king
cat girls and freaking talking about politics and racism.
Yep.
Like this is literally some people on the internet would be like, "This is DI
This is
simulator. Go get like, your soy latte or something." I don't know, but the game is really good, man. So far,
yeah.
We'll see if it meets the game of the year. It probably will. I think a lot of people like it. It's like very stylized.
I think it's really good. I think the thing that you just said it. The style of this game is beautiful. This game is just dripping with style. All the menus, all like the sub menus, all the like the gameplay, like everything is just dripping with style. And I've known this about Atlas games, that this is like what they're known for. But like it's nice to experience it in a context where I'm actually enjoying it versus a context I'm like, okay, this is cringe. I don't really care for this stuff. But I'm liking it a lot. I know you're liking it. We can see where it goes from here. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I played. I don't know if you touched anything else besides Metaphor, but
yeah, I did touch something else.
Oh, what did you touch?
And I'm about to touch on this new segment.
Oh God,
that we have.
I thought you were gonna say something way worse. I think.
No, dude, just chill.
Okay.
No, all right. So because we both have a Game Pass, a Game Pass on the PC, and there's this whole. It's like you walk into a library and you don't know what to read, right? And so in this case, like, what are you gonna play? So this segment is called "Is It Gas on Game Pass?" Right?
Explain what gas is. What is gas?
Gas is very good.
Oh, okay.
But you want me to bring up the freaking Urban Dictionary?
I'm just saying, people may not know. Gas is a term that basically just means like, is it like good? Another colloquial term is like, is it fire? Whatever the case is, but is it gas on Game Pass? Sorry, continue.
I told my brother about this segment, and he was like, dude, you should just like, I don't know if we're gonna curse, but he was like, you should flip the word gas and make the rating like on a scale of 1 to 5 cheeks.
Is it ass on Game Pass? Gas to
ass? And then
okay.
And then like if the game sucks, you're like, absolute stinker.
Okay.
I don't know.
We'll see. Okay, but we could try it. But I'm down for that.
We need to figure out if we're a PG or PG-13.
I think I have it set as explicit, but yeah, go ahead.
Yo, man said it's age restricted.
No kids.
No advertisers here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So we're probably gonna do this segment maybe like twice a month or once a month, because to get a game in rotation. And we're probably just gonna do the like on Game Pass, there's our recommend option. So, but what initially started this was that I played Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. The game that got delayed because of the Ukraine-Russia war. Is it wrong to say that our tax bill partially paid for this? No,
it's not Israel, brother. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, but so Stalker is. I haven't played the first one. The last one came out like 15 years ago, so there's a big chunk of time between these. But it is a very niche kind of survival game.
Someone said it was Tarkov-esque. Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
I very much agree. That's kind of like Tarkov. Like there's a lot of survival management. I say Tarkov-esque because there's a lot of jank, but people just love it. It's
Eurojank.
It's like if it has that same feeling that people that like Arma.
Okay.
Like I feel like it would attract that same crowd, right? Where there's jank, but people are like so into it. We're like, I don't care. Like look the other way, right?
Yeah.
I only got to play like an hour and a half before I kind of like I'm not gonna lie, I had to throw in the towel a bit.
Oh, really?
I did not know anything about this game or the series. The only thing I knew was like, oh, this is like a PC classic.
Well, I remember telling you also like I heard it's like hella bugged. That's why I didn't play it yet, right?
Yeah. Well, like I think the jankiness goes outside of just bugs, right? Where it's like,
okay.
Yeah. So the context I knew was that this is a PC classic, and it was you're like fighting other people and then also supernatural things.
Okay.
Like
is this a single player game or are you fighting like other players?
Single player.
Oh, okay. So it's like like not I'm not saying it's the exact thing, but like Fallout-esque, like NPCs just roaming the wasteland type beat. You're going around like completing quests. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just for my context. Okay.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. The thing is like the thing that I couldn't get into is like the game just throws you into like this intro sequence that it tells you nothing. I don't know anything about the story. I mean, like, I don't know if this is like a translation issue because like it's probably originally in Ukrainian translated into English. Like there's some like translation errors even. Like I'm not gonna dog the game too much for that, but it's like just the way the game starts. I was like, yo, why are these things here? There's just like balls of lightning just flying around. They don't really tell you like, oh, this is because of this thing, or
is it like a issue of you wandering in the wrong place, maybe? Or is
no. I didn't play this game before. I didn't play the series. I didn't look up a Wikipedia. I didn't watch a story. Like I kind of felt that if you had such a big gap between the first and second game, that you would have some like
starter sequence
where we left off. Yeah, something like that, right?
Okay.
But yeah, anyway, so that plus like some of the gameplay jank, I was like, okay, I'm not feeling this.
Yeah.
I just tapped out, and then I just went to go be racist on Metaphor.
No, you're solving for racism. You're not. Hold on.
Wait, what?
Officers, this one right here.
Uninstall the game right now.
Yeah. No, I saw that you were playing Stalker 2, and I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot too, so we can maybe talk about it on the podcast. And I saw the download size 155 gigs, and I said, no, I'm not doing that. But I after hearing what you're hearing, so you're saying what? You're saying that it needs more time in the oven, or what?
I don't think it's a game for me, right? It's a very specific game for a specific type of audience. I think if someone can stick around and like get through this section, you get to see a lot of like survival, like I guess game like moments. I guess like I was watching what's his name, Jake Baldino, do like the before you buy.
Oh, okay. Video, yeah. Go to video.
And yeah, great guy. And he was talking about how it gets intense because like there's no indication like in a game like Tarkov or in a game like Arma, like if you kill somebody, you're not gonna get like a big pop that says, oh, plus 25 XP, or oh, this guy's dead, or oh, you can go loot now, or there's no music that ends when the encounter is done, right? So like you're like peeking behind like cover to take a shot and then reload and do this and all these things, and it gets like this tense moment. So I can see people that like kind of like these survival-esque type of games.
Yeah,
can push through some of the jank to kind of get these nuggets of enjoyment.
Yeah.
Plus it has elements of supernatural stuff to it, which like is more compelling. But I think at the moment, I don't think I'm not gravitated to go pick it up again and play.
So was it gas on Game Pass? The listeners want to know.
It was not gas on Game Pass.
As your brother would say, it's major cheeks.
Major cheeks. That's a stinker. And then we
wonky slush.
What if we just had like a fart sound right here?
Yeah. Okay. I'll hook up my soundboard. I got you.
No.
Oh, actually, I might have it. Let me see.
No, I think we're fine.
Hold on. Well,
so
now
what if you play the wrong one?
Let's find out,
guys. I just see SoundPad launched on Steam.
What do I even have here? Is it this one? Did you hear that one? Did that work? Did that do it for you?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. I think that works.
Fine. Okay. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. But okay. Well, yeah. So next week, I guess what we can do is we can decide the gas on Game Pass, what we decide to play next week. Like we can decide at the end of the podcast, I think, and then we can see we can say, hey, this is what we're playing, and then we'll just go from there.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Cool beans. But yeah, okay, sounds good. I don't think I'll be playing Stalker 2 based off of that recommendation, but we'll find out. Maybe if they release a patch that's like we fixed the game, maybe, but until then, probably not. Okay. Well, then. Oh, I also played. I forgot about this during my week. I purchased the Archaeologist edition of Outer Wilds from IM 8-Bit. Came with some extra goodies and 2 copies of the game for some reason. So I was playing one on my PS5, and that is my comfort game through and through. It's such a good game, such an amazing story. It is my favorite game of all time. If none of you have played it, I highly, highly recommend it. Super worth it. Quite literally life-changing. But at least for me. I know that's high praise. I know that's a lot to say, but I genuinely love the game.
Brother is replaying a puzzle game. My brother, you know the puzzles.
Yeah, but still, it's the emotions that I crave. It's like chasing the dragon. But yeah, okay. So the next, we can go into the gaming news, which is interesting. The first thing that we got is, the Nintendo Switch, right? It's really good. You have a fun Switch, like trying to get the Switch story, right? Like whenever the Switch came out, yeah, like everyone has one where it's like there's a Switch and tell the story, but essentially the big problem with new console releases, besides Xbox, nobody wants it. PS5, Switches, they're always out of stock. Scalpers get a ton of them. They buy them all up, and it's just ridiculous to get one within the first couple of weeks of it. First couple of months, realistically. I think even a year for the PS5, right? For the first year, it wasn't like.
Yeah,
it was tough, right?
And that was also COVID, yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if you wanted to tell your Switch story.
Yeah, I basically just like we would always hunt down because I think it was like Tuesdays at 7 a.m. Targets would get their shipment of stuff, so we would run into Target at 7 a.m. be like, do you guys have the Switch?
Dude, you guys are 30. Get out of here. It's for kids.
Yeah, like. Right, nah, chill. This was like how many years ago, man? This is before I graduated college, so I was
29. Sorry.
Yeah. This guy. No, but yeah, it's the scalper stuff really kind of messed up.
Yeah,
it made it really difficult.
And we're already seeing some anti-scalper tech. One of which being PS5 Pros. Not enough people are buying. There's so many on the shelves because either A, they overproduce it or try to produce enough to where everyone would want them. Downside, or I guess flip side of that, is no one actually wants a PS5 Pro, so scalpers are stuck selling them at a loss, right? So things like that, which I love. So now we have the Switch 2, which Nintendo basically, I think they were either asked, basically like in the meeting with Nintendo shareholders, Furukawa, which is Nintendo's president, he basically was asked, hey, like, what are your plans to stop scalpers? Because Nintendo wants obviously people who played their console to have it, and they don't want to get sidelined by scalpers. So Nintendo said that last year and the year before, we were unable to produce sufficient quantities of the Nintendo Switch hardware due to the shortage of semiconductor components. But this situation has now been resolved. He even specified that the semiconductor shortage won't affect the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2, even though it will assumedly use different parts. At present, we do not believe the shortage of components will have a significant impact on the production of the successor model. Basically, what he's saying is we are going to shoot up production, which is a great, obviously, because the thing is, it's a Switch 2. It's gonna sell like crazy. People are gonna buy. Obviously, let's say price it like $1,000, but you know what I'm saying? They're not in a worry of not selling, so they can produce as much as they want and people will buy it,
Yeah, it's interesting because I said this before, but the Venn diagram of collectors and Nintendo fans is very, very big, overlap, right?
Yep.
I know people that just collect the Joy-Con colors, and so I wouldn't be surprised if, because they're not gonna be producing one Switch per person, right? Because with collectors they might be going out and just buying the limit, like day one
Oh, I see what you're saying.
edition, and then like so plus like you have kids involved, and the case with the with like the Switch, right? The first Switch, the initial versions of the Switch were actually like they had like some hardware like access that like made it significantly easier um to jailbreak. Like
Allegedly.
listen, man, I don't know. Well, my Switch is collecting dust, so I don't know. I'm just reading it. I literally have not booted that thing up in forever.
Mm-hmm.
But so I don't know. So you might see people like flock toward this, but I mean, hey, if I guess Nintendo saw what happened the first time,
yeah,
and they said, all right, buddy, we're gonna probably.
Well, they also said we covered it, I think, 2 weeks ago, but Nintendo said that Switch games are gonna be backwards compatible. So like, on principle, just a straight up like upgrade, you know what I'm saying? Like, is gonna be like, I personally would really enjoy like to purchase one for that upgrade, but I mean, we'll see. Obviously, if I need one, whatever the case is. So,
yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know what game would run great on the Switch 2 versus from the original Switch?
Ooh, which one?
Mortal Kombat.
If it's released with the Switch, brother, if it makes it there.
No, I'm pretty sure it was released.
No, yeah, that's true. It was, it was released. I remember. But this story, dude, WB is just taking L's after L's, dog. But this story basically starts off by saying Mortal Kombat 1's like next DLC wave was reportedly canceled. What that means, so basically for context, Mortal Kombat 1 released a story expansion and a season 1 of characters. But what happened is that those they released, and not to be mean to Mortal Kombat, like the NetherRealm Studios or whatever, but the way that the pricing worked out, the way that the game feels, and just overall, just the vibe for the game was off. And people did not enjoy it as much as the other fighters, like Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8, rather. So they sold very poorly. They didn't do well. I don't think we have the exact numbers, but they just didn't meet WWE's expectations, because like this is one of their cash cows, you know. I don't know if you've seen Maximilian Dude's video, but he had a video basically saying like the game just doesn't feel very cooked. It feels like it's needed more time in the oven. And again, I'm not knocking anybody who enjoys this game, but for me, Mortal Kombat's a fighting game that I like boot up. I play it for a little bit, and I'm like, okay, like I don't like how it feels, you know?
Yeah, there's something about the animation and my monkey brain.
I was literally about to say monkey brain, yeah.
Oh, dude, we're on the. Mom said it's my turn. But I like having 6 buttons on a fighter. I don't know if that's it, or just maybe everything just feels so grounded, and people just walk with their shoulders like everything just feels stiff.
Yeah, and that comes. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying like, I think that comes down to just personal taste, and if people like it, that's like a whole thing. But the thing is, like, the numbers speak for themselves. Like Chaos Reigns, which is their story DLC, according to an article on thegamer.com, basically says that Chaos Reigns reviewed poorly compared to the base game, sitting at a 61 on Metacritic. Their reporter George Foster gave it a 2.5 out of 5 in his review, saying it was too short for the price and not enjoying the focus on the multiverse. Fans don't seem pleased with it either, as it has a user score of 4.2 out of 10. And I think that's also a big factor of it, like the multiverse aspect. I know that turned off a lot of people from the game because they're like, I don't care. I'm not gonna lie, like Mortal Kombat 10 and Mortal Kombat 9, their story was actually a lot of fun to go through. But now with all this like complexity of like multiverses and just resetting the universe, people are like, okay, like you know.
I'll say like that's the story specifically was very. I think it came out at the wrong time. Because I think there was already so much multiverse fatigue.
Like it's giving like trend chaser type thing.
Sort of, yeah, but like the thing is like with trends, like people figure out the trend, or predict the trend, and then they spend like 4 years working. So then when it's time to release, everything releases around the same time. So it's just like, okay, we're getting saturated. Like MCU did all this other stuff for multiverse, and I think it was a weird pivot. Like because like since MK9, right? I think they like are swinging way too heavy on the story, like where. But like arguably like that's like the thing that like gave them the most success with like casual players, right?
Yeah.
Is like I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm out here just watching the Rad Brad YouTube cutscene.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if the cool thing about MK is what the story, which you can watch on YouTube, and the fatalities, and you can watch those on YouTube. You know, like it also hits on that specific genre of people who really enjoy like nostalgia. Not a bad thing, but like their last DLCs from the last game was like Alien, Michael Myers, Terminator. Like that stuff is cool, but I don't know if there's enough of a big enough overlap between people who game and people who are like, yeah, dude, I love this stuff too. Like I'm sure they exist, and I could just be talking out of my butt. But just that concept of like, yeah, like you know, the audience that they're trying to capture. I feel like why like for example, like I think it fits the theme of MK. But I feel like in order to draw new people in, I don't know if that like works, if that makes sense. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Also, the thing with like, like MK1 is just such a. It came, like, because like the cycle is supposed to be they do a Mortal Kombat, then they do Injustice, Mortal Kombat, then Injustice. It's like it'll give people time to kind of
breathe.
Like yeah, you want to like clamor up and go jump on the new Mortal Kombat game, right? Because because they rely on kind of like the casual audience to kind of pick up the games for their sales numbers.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what was going on at NetherRealm that they said, hey, no, we're gonna buck the trend. And
I don't think they had a choice. I think this is WB stepping in and be like, hey,
maybe
you know, because that's the thing. Like, I'm sure that people at NetherRealm wanted to make like you know something that was like clean and you know all this stuff, but they were forced to push it out quicker, and they were forced to say, hey, like you're making a Mortal Kombat game because that's you know that's our big, because they said their portfolio, we talked about it before, Mortal Kombat, Batman, Harry Potter, and Game of Thrones, you know.
Yeah, and like Maximilian brought this up before, or actually not, but he brought it up on his YouTube video. He was saying, oh well they're gonna make another MK game, right? Because like that's like the things that they're gonna be focusing on, which is like I feel like that might be the worst move, because people might be already fatigued with MK. Now they're gonna like, if they're gonna focus on another one, that might kind of shoot themselves in the foot. So
yeah, I mean we'll see. I think the biggest thing about like making sequel on sequel on sequel, like you were saying, they needed to kind of pace it to where like MK Injustice, you know, like having that break of monotony helps refresh people's palates and be like, oh yeah, I did miss this, you know. But they had MK11 and they're like, oh, actually MK1 again, you know.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Speaking of breaking up the monotony, right, we had Witcher 3, we had Cyberpunk, and now we have Witcher 4, which has entered full-scale production according to CG Projekt Red, which is really cool. I'm so excited for this. I genuinely really like, thinking back on it, I think I really enjoyed Witcher 3 to an extent of like, man, it's about time that I want a new one, you know?
Yeah.
So go ahead. Yeah, go for it.
No, sorry. I cut you off, man.
No, I was just gonna say like, yeah, I mean, codename Polaris, which is the Witcher 4 codename. It's in full production, and you know, they're just working on it, and that's going to be the next big project. And then after that is Cyberpunk sequel, Cyberpunk, which I think they've learned a lot of lessons from Cyberpunk so that they can redo some of their development processes and kind of make it ready when it comes out. But I'm excited for this. I think it's time for a new Witcher game. I think that I have hopes that I think I want to run by you to see what you think. But what you were going to say something before?
No, I was going to say it's good. I'm curious to see like they mentioned that one of the new like tenets that they're taking forward when like during this production is that the game needs to be playable like throughout the whole development cycle, which I guess they learned a lot from Cyberpunk, right? Because I think that one there had like some mismanagement with the like they outsourced the QA team, I believe, and there was some mismanagement there that kind of misrepresented the state of the game. And from that, I guess it seemed like they said, hey, no, we're gonna switch engines to Unreal 5 and make sure that we can at any point in time just play the game from start to end, which I think is like an ambitious goal to have, but also would ensure that that anyone can kind of get a feel for how things are moving. So I'm excited to see what they do. And the only concern I have is I'm kind of iterating a point that someone had said before, which was a lot of Unreal games look the same. Like, so it's hard to make when you go for realistic like art style, it all just kind of has that same grayish looking feeling, you know.
For
so I hope that
Witcher, you're saying?
No, not Witcher. I mean, just any Unreal 5 game.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
So I hope that like as part of this, like they try to lean into a pretty heavy art style to kind of make themselves look unique. But aside from that, I'm looking forward to it, man. Some of the best quest writing and storytelling I've had in a game. So
yeah, I agree. I want to read some numbers out to you real quick. Okay. Current player count, Witcher 3. How old is Witcher 3 actually? That's the biggest question first.
It came out in 2015.
Okay.
So it's like 9 years or almost 10 years.
Perfect. In the last 24 hours, how many people would you say have been playing Witcher 3? Just a rough estimate. On Steam specifically.
Ooh, that's a crazy. Like 2,000 maybe.
2,000. Okay. 23,900 people.
23. Oh man, what is it? Oh well, okay. Like they did release some modding, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Same question, but for Cyberpunk. This factors in the DLC as well. Like the DLC is under this umbrella, so keep that in mind.
Yeah. So I would say 95K.
Okay, a little bit too high, but 54,000.
Okay.
In the last 24 hours, specifically. Now, those games, a little bit older. Yeah, Cyberpunk had a DLC that released last year, but generally speaking, you know, like the cycle of games is that once a new thing comes out, people forget the old thing, right? We can use Witcher 3 as an example. Witcher 3 is 23,000 in this day and age, which is insane to me. That's great. Like, I'm not complaining. That's awesome. It deserves it. Star Wars Outlaws, recent game by Ubisoft, came out this year. I believe it came out like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah, November, September,
right? How many players on Steam do you think it has in the last 24 hours?
Okay, it's not fair. I know the headline is about to come in. So just
but what's the number? I want to hear a number.
I can't I'm gonna we can. Oh, the 10,000.
No, it's 2,112 according to Steam charts. The thing, news headline is that Ubisoft demands Steam to remove player count charts from public access after Star Wars Outlaw failure. Dude, these numbers are crazy. I looked it up right as I was pulling up this article. Like, it can't be that bad. Dude, 2,000 people?
Yeah.
Because, like, for context, right? Ubisoft refused to put their games on Steam for the longest time.
Yeah.
And then they came crawling back. And then it's like one of those things where, like, this ties into the story from a couple weeks ago that Ubisoft is on its last legs. That's my take. Ubisoft is on fire and is trying desperately to hold on to something that's like really good and like try to stay afloat. And they're relying on Assassin's Creed Shadows to be like the savior, right? If Shadows fails, it's done, you know? And
I think Shadows. Okay, so I think Shadows is like the second to last nail in the coffin.
What do you think is after that?
I mean, it depends what they do.
Oh, you're saying that's like, okay, now we're on. Like this fails.
They're on strike 2.
I see. Know? Okay. That's fair. Yeah. So now this news has come out where they're like, dude, we're gonna try to hide it. We don't want to showcase it after coming back to Steam, because what's happening is like investors are able to look at the numbers and see who's playing what. And see how many people are playing it. Like if Ubisoft can just tell the investors, no, a lot of people are playing your game, but then the investors can be like, dude, I have the numbers right here. There's like 2,000 in the last 24 hours, and that's it.
Yeah, it's such a difficult thing, because like this game came out like it just released on Steam, like, and there was like a 3 or 4 month delay between getting on Epic Game Store or Steam, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, there's a good chance, right? Like, if devil's advocate, this game is not gonna take that long to beat, man. So like, if someone
Outlaws, or
wanted to play it on,
you're saying
yeah, Outlaws, yeah. Like, if someone wanted to play it on PC, they could have just gone on Epic Game Store and then, like, but you know how some people are, like they'll wait until the very end
yeah.
and go. So
There are numbers that come out for the sales, just for context. It sold less than 2 million copies on all platforms.
Oh, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, I agree with you that like we can't take the numbers of just one platform, but at the same time, dude, that's rough. Like,
yeah,
that's pretty bad. And I haven't played the game, so I can't speak to the quality. But like, seeing what I'm seeing and watching people play this game, this does not look great. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's and I'm pretty sure it's also tough because like added pressure they're getting people like on social media kind of doing all it, like there's like public pressure, and then on top of that like you're looking at Disney, like they bought the license for this, and Disney's probably like, dude, we're probably not going to give you back the license after this, or maybe, I don't know, man. So
the thing is also like is this the thing is also like apparently the word on the street is that like people at Ubisoft are like, not, I don't want to say panicking, but they're like the bell is tolling, we got to get the hell off this ship or else we're gonna like drown, you know. But
yeah, but it's crazy that the PC and Steam numbers are so low. Like, what would you think is probably the reason for that?
Man, honestly, it may not be Ubisoft's fault. I'll be honest, it may not be it. It might be Microsoft trying to sabotage Ubisoft games, I think. You know what it is? Oh my god. Okay, hold on. hold on. They're doing this on purpose so that they could buy the Ubisoft portfolio and put it on Game Pass.
Listen, bro, I'm here for the Game Pass propaganda.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it is. But no, basically the news headline is that Microsoft confirms Windows 11 update kills Star Wars Outlaws, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and other Ubisoft games. Basically what's happening is that Ubisoft, Windows pushed an update to Windows 11. And do you have Windows 11 or no?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I do not. I have Windows 10. I actually don't like the look of Windows 11, but I also haven't used it for that long, so I can't say.
You get used to it, man.
It's
all the same.
So after installing Windows 11 version 24H2, you might encounter issues with some Ubisoft games, Microsoft said. These games might become unresponsive while starting, loading, or during active gameplay. What's happening is that like it's like a black screen, or sometimes it's like a flashing seizure white and black screen. They pause the update until they can work out the issue, but there's no fix as of now. So can you boot up a Ubisoft game real quick and see if that's the case?
I don't have any installed, but it's crazy because I'm just looking at this and it's like they have, bro. Can you believe they released an Avatar game and a Star Wars game, and they're still having trouble, bro?
Yeah, James Cameron is like, my vision. Yeah. I want it beautiful. Yeah. I mean, what kind of stuff, like, is this something that's like, I mean, the article that we have listed doesn't go in depth, but like, do you think this is something that's like easily fixable with a patch, or like it's something that like, because you're in software, so I don't know, like, is this kind of thing?
I mean, they're probably gonna fix it. I don't know if this is something like I don't know if it's like Ubisoft is doing something incorrect, that like, because sometimes it's like with software you have like pockets that like someone can use, but then those things can get blocked out with like patches.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible like that, like that's what happened. Like it's like the process is called like you deprecate some piece of the software or some piece of the development kit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if it's like, oh, they were using something that was like so old that Microsoft was like, hey, like we're gonna cut this part out, and they didn't get the memo, and then things are just breaking on this update. Or if Microsoft has pushed the bug that somehow is only affecting I mean, I'm not saying specifically just Ubisoft games.
Yeah, I think other games are
if
affected as well, but
if
yeah.
name.ubisoft equal kill or whatever, you know, they're not doing that specifically, but
yeah,
they just keep catching strays, man. So
yeah. Well, we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. Keeping an eye out on this. It's not helping Ubisoft, so maybe that's why it's low player count. You know, that's our fault for assuming, right?
yeah.
But that leads us to the next story, and this one is kind of short, but official Dragon Ball Sparking Zero tournament is an unsurprising and unmitigated disaster by PushSquare.com. Have you played Sparking Zero?
I have it installed, but I have not touched it.
Okay.
I don't have a desire, but I don't know why you would make this game competitive or try to.
Yeah. So you play Tenkaichi, Budokai Tenkaichi though, right? Like the older ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole point of those games is that it's like you're playing as the characters that you grew up watching, and that's what the game is for. What comes with that is that these characters are not balanced in the slightest, right?
Yep.
And so basically they try to push like a tournament, and what ended up happening is a tournament. I don't know if you've seen the tech that what they do.
Dude, it's like they charge, spam key blast, and then fly up and down.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's the most snooze fest. And like I saw clips on like TikTok of people trying to fight, and it's basically like instant teleport, instant teleport, instant teleport, instant teleport. It's like they teleport and punch. The guy teleports, he punch, teleport, he punch, teleport, he punch, and then it's like, oh, the energy's dead. Okay, now, okay, do your combo. Okay, now it's. I was like, dude, why are we?
Yeah.
It's,
and not to say that every fighting game is like all fighting games don't have this issue. Like Street Fighter 5 was, I think, or 4, one of them, the issue was that everyone just wanted to play training mode in tournaments and just became boring spectacle to watch. Here it's just like this game isn't balanced for competitive, so I don't know why you would try to think this is like a, you know.
That's different, man. Like Street Fighter it was just like everyone's like was grinding it, so they're like, oh, we're just gonna use the training stage that has the guidelines of spacing and use that. But then this one is like, oh, yo, like you have to pick a very specific meta because it's, oh, like there's some characters that have significantly more health and energy bars and do significantly more damage than others. It's like this is not competitive at all. There's no like, it's like people like apparently there's, I don't know the names of these Dragon Ball people, man. But there's a dude that is like is a swordsman.
Yeah.
And apparently, like, he has to get banned because like he does crazy damage and doesn't have to charge up or something.
Oh yeah, Jirobi. Yeah, he's like a human. Yeah, he could just like do whatever. Yeah. Which is kind of funny, like to think about like a fighting game tournament banning a character. Just it's like what do you mean? Like,
it's brother, he's in the game.
Yeah, he came with the meal, brother. What you mean?
Yeah.
But you know, yeah, I don't know why people think that this would be a good idea, but who knows, you know? Do you have a transition for this next one, or should I just go into it?
I should go into it.
Okay, so FromSoft, we talked about the story last week. FromSoft, the parent Kadokawa, there was a rumor that Sony wants to buy it, and people were like, no. And people are still like, no, including myself, but there's more context behind it because there is a Korean giant, same kind of thing. They were interested in purchasing Kadokawa first. And the worry that if the Korean company purchases it is that they're going to make FromSoft make gacha games, because that's what this company is known for.
Yeah, the quick context is that like the concern here is that they heard that this Korean company was gonna do a hostile takeover, which is like, from my understanding, Kadokawa is a publicly traded company.
Oh, okay.
Hostile takeover. Someone says, "Yo, actually, I'm gonna go on Fidelity and just buy 51% of the shares."
Oh, okay.
So then they just pull up and like, yo, I'm technically majority owner. What I say goes, right?
Yeah.
So when people get a feeling for that, then they're like, okay, hurry up, Like so Ubisoft had that happen to them.
Oh,
Almost like
really?
where,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So like there was a company called like Vivendi that was gonna do it, and then Ubisoft, literally the head of Ubisoft was like running around to everybody. He's like, please, like, give us some money so that we can buy back our stock and blah, or you can buy our stock, and just to prevent people from getting 51%. So I think that was the case with this, right? And so the story is alleging that Kadokawa, the FromSoft parent company, is the one that reached out to Sony, saying like, "Can you please buy us to prevent?" Because I guess in this case, like they would rather be under somebody that kind of understands what they're doing. Because I think Sony is uniquely placed here, that they already own a couple of anime and like manga stuff, right? Like they own Crunchyroll, and they're already kind of like invested in media, and they're also in the gaming space. So like that, I think a lot of pieces of Kadokawa can probably kind of segment into Sony. So I think was probably a better fit. So maybe this is not just like a tit for tat of Sony wanting to just have their own studios,
Yeah.
to go up against Microsoft. But then that begs some questions, like what is Elden Ring 2 gonna be exclusive to Sony?
God,
How is that like,
I would hate that.
Oh, you don't want an Elden Ring 2?
Not for a long time, to be completely honest. But no, I'm talking about like being exclusive to Sony.
Yes. I mean, I don't know,
But,
man.
you know, we'll see. I guess we shall see.
Does that mean, look, you know, the neuron is firing? Does this mean that we're gonna get a Bloodborne remaster
Listen,
remake?
the bells have been rung. The hunter bell has been sounded. It's happening, dude. I'm
Has
telling
been
you,
what?
the hunter. It has been rung. It's happening. It's real. Bloodborne is saved. Everything is coming up. FromSoft, baby.
Oh Lord.
I'm huffing so much copium, dude. I can't. I need it. I need this copium so
He has a
bad.
ventilator. Has a ventilator, and the gas tank is just
just like huffing that.
it's just huffing delusions.
Yeah. So context wise, FromSoft News, a Twitter, an X account, basically breaking news. They tweeted this on November 27th, so about 3 days ago. Bloodborne servers are undergoing maintenance on 12-3-24, and this is like exclamation mark. This is the same date that was hidden in a recent PlayStation trailer, which I don't know where this trailer is. I don't know where they're getting this information from,
Yeah, I
but
don't know.
is a remaster or remake announcement finally happening? And the notice on Bloodborne says maintenance notice. The server will undergo maintenance at the date and time below. During this time, online mode will be unavailable. We apologize in advance for any inconvenience this caused. And it has the dates and time listed. But it's only out for 4 hours. I'm not a server guy.
Yeah.
What's up?
No, it's weird, man. Because okay, like why if they're okay, maybe a re-release, if anything, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
A remaster or a remake, I doubt it, right? Because like if you're gonna remake something, why would you be using the same server infrastructure and things, right?
Yeah.
I don't, but also I don't know, man. Like, because this would be so weird to do now, right? Because Game Awards, like, why would you miss the window to announce something at the Game Awards where everybody's eyes are looking at and people?
Yeah, that's true.
Like the Winter E3, why would you miss that?
That's
You know?
true. I mean, it is
And
there's
that's,
no other E3, right? Like this is everything else is canceled.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's the
I got you.
winter. It's a winter games fest. Yeah, with Jeff Keighley. Like that's on the 12th. This date here, that's being reported is on the 3rd. So I mean, we have what 3 more days to figure it out.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, 3 more days. Well, someone tweeted a picture of like Mice and Men. They had Lenny by the lake, and then the guy behind it, and it's like he's enjoying like the butterflies, and that's Bloodborne. They're gonna take the servers up back and shoot them in the head. Basically, is what's happening.
Yeah.
Imagine if they're like, yeah, Bloodborne's dead now. Sorry, guys, and they just like kill it. That, dude, I'm huffing so much copium. I hope it's like a thing. It's not gonna be, but imagine if they just say, you know what, actually, Bloodborne is dead now. No one can play it online, which would be.
Dude, that would be the worst, actually. Like, actually, we're just gonna rip it out.
Yep, it's like killing all hope.
Yeah, like you thought it's gonna be. It's like the biggest U-turn. Everyone is huffing the remake train.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, bro, you can't even play the old one. Damn,
we heard you guys. We're listening to our audience. That's why we're never gonna make another Bloodborne remake. It's like, no, that's not what we want.
It's so good, one of one.
But you know
who actually likes playing FromSoft games and has one of the best builds.
I hate this transition already, but go ahead.
In the system, Elon Musk.
Oh God. Okay.
Elon Musk says way too many games are owned by giant corporations, and he's gonna make great games again using AI.
You missed a very big part of his headline where it says, so his giant corporation is going to start making studio games, going to start making games with AI. Which
it's all the same thing. Man.
No, but it's the irony, brother. Like the fact that he's like, there's too many big game companies doing it. So my big game company's going to do it.
No, okay. My thing is this, dude. I can't trust a thing that this guy says.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, his Elden Ring... I have to Google this right now. His Elden Ring stat thing is horrendous.
Oh, is it the one where it's like?
Bro, I swear I just Googled Elden. I Googled Elon Musk. First thing was Elden Ring.
Okay, what's his stat line?
So here, like this dude. I'll just read it. It reads: equip load will be lower if fast roll is needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this dude has 2 shields. Like a great sword and a scepter, and like the moonlight
great sword, yeah.
Moonveil, no, not the
the katana one.
The katana that shoots out
okay
beams, right? And it's like, why do you have? You don't need 2 sets of shields.
Mm-hmm,
you don't need 3. You don't need 3. Like, if anything, you need a scepter and maybe a sword, but not a second sword.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude dropped 68 points into intelligence.
Uh-huh.
Dog, why are you 0 in faith and arcana, and like 30 in vigor and like 16 strength? It's like, dude, like you're not like this dude. Apparently is like the smartest guy in the world, and he thinks you can do that by just bumping up like the
intelligence.
Intelligence.
Well, that's why.
And this dude, check it. All right, this dude is he's running crazy mana, but he doesn't even have any flasks.
Well, he doesn't need it.
How is he gonna even do a mana flask or an HP flask?
Mm-hmm.
This dude knows nothing about games. There's one more thing. I have to Google this because I have to read it out verbatim. Just give me a second. This is. This guy that thinks games are too big and are too bloated, are made by companies that just don't make good games. If you ask him, he's probably gonna say games are woke, because he's currently under the Trump administration.
Well, he said he made a post. He said, can't they just let me see. Basically, the global head of marketing at Xbox and Microsoft basically said, she tweeted this, raise your hand if you're not a white man and you buy video games, and has like a hand emoji. And it says, and she says in parentheses, no hate to white dudes. It's just another day in the gaming industry that minorities have to fight to prove they exist. Not a crazy take. I think it's like fine, whatever. Someone responds to that. The global head of marketing at Xbox/Microsoft wants you to know that if you're a white male dude, the company doesn't want you or care about you. To which Elon responds, can't they just make good games and skip the woke lecture? WTF.
Exactly. Bro, I can't. That's par for the course, man.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to hear? So, let me read this tweet out to you that someone posted and Elon replied to, right?
Okay.
Which was, a list of games I haven't played: GTA 1, 2, 3, 4,
I know
5,
this
and
tweet.
6.
I know this tweet.
Right?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Elon Musk. I tried, but I didn't like doing crime. GTA 5's were crying, shooting a police officer in the opening scene. I just couldn't do it. Yo, this is what game this guy gonna make? What is this? This dude, what?
Bro, you gotta read it in like the. I tried, but I couldn't kill
I
couple.
tried, but I couldn't do the crime. GTA 5 requires shooting police officers.
Oh
And the
my
opening scene. I just
god,
couldn't do
dude!
it, man. I like.
Listen,
What game is he gonna make?
if that's not
He
your
doesn't even know
thing,
how to play Elden Ring. He does this.
if okay, I fully like I fully respect the idea that like, hey, I'm not into GTA, like whatever. I just not like the crime thing isn't my thing. All right, whatever, man. Like I get it. Like if it's not your enjoyment, if you feel uncomfortable, fine. Like no one's forcing you to like play it. But to be like, I couldn't handle killing cops. Oh, it's like okay, dude. Like
Yeah,
like
bro, it's literally pixels, man. This is
like yeah, okay, like regardless, the idea of an AI gaming company is such a stupid idea in terms of just like it goes against the very, in my opinion, the very antithesis. It goes against the very like fiber of what game making is. You know?
Yeah.
Like it's an expression of art and love for a craft. And to say like, I'm gonna come in and use AI to build this, it's like why? Like that doesn't have any love, any care, nothing behind it, you know?
Like I would go even like it's like you need to have a vision to do something, right? And I think with like when people think about AI, it's a lot of, oh, dude, you can just do things a lot quicker and this like like there isn't like a game like Metaphor, a game like Death Stranding cannot be like it requires somebody to sit like someone at the forefront like to be creative and not like be tunnel visioned with AI, right? Because I think AI kind of like puts these like the I when you streamline things, you shave things off, right?
Yep.
And I think for the creative process, you need someone that is like I don't want to say like not in a bad way, rough around the edges, but like that like they are very unique in their characteristics that they can make a game with a vision that they feel like, oh, it has to be the certain way, right? Because when you streamline a lot of things, everything just kind of like becomes smoothed down and like indistinguishable. Like there's a thing of like, oh, if you take like a composite of everybody's face, then you just get like this very generic looking person, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what's probably gonna happen with these games. And I'll be honest, this dude's probably gonna be making like freaking a Subway Surfer game. He's not gonna be making.
Oh
a
my
AAA
god!
game.
I mean, yeah. The thing is also like one of the bigger things for me is that like the idea of game making is that like the jank and like the poop behind it, I guess. The poop in the poop deli sandwich makes the game good. Like I know we talked about earlier in the show that the Eurojank kind of puts you off, and that's fine. But it's the fact that the game has character. Like when I boot up a Stalker game, I know what I'm getting, you know? In terms of that jank. Like when I boot up, like let's say Skyrim. These are bad examples. You don't like any of these games. When I boot up Metaphor Refantazio, when I boot it up, I'm like, dude, this is beautiful. Like the stuff that's here, like the way this game is like expressed, and I don't have to like everything in it, but it's not like machine generated garbage. You know, a human kind of put effort and had vision behind it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. There's like you need to have some sort of like I don't know, like when I look, I'm gonna keep talking about Death Stranding again.
No, that's a great example. Yeah.
Or if you talk about like Arkham, right? Or I guess okay, let me go back to Death Stranding. Like no way that like this was made from somebody's like idea of like, oh, this is how like how things are supposed to be for this style of a game and for this story that I'm gonna tell. Like and like you can't just like game design is, it's not a copy paste process. I mean today like a lot of games are just copy pasted, but like the core idea of design is you see somebody did something and you're like, okay, how can I maybe leverage this, but like tweak it in a certain way.
Yeah.
Like you think about
Well,
like
it's iterative,
like,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like no way AI would come up with something like the Nemesis system, right? Like that,
Mm.
or no way that they would have figured out how to make like the free flow combat in Arkham like that good. You know,
Mhm.
like there's certain things that aren't you that isn't just magically gonna come up and uh like make on its own, right? Because like
Mhm.
AI is a lot of just like, oh, like what is this? You want the Mona Lisa? I'll draw you the Mona Lisa. It could only do what it knows, you know.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
or like what's there. It can't, you know, it can't like think of its own thing. It uses what is existing and then kind of plugs stuff together, I guess. But
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
That's true. I mean, we'll see where it goes. Like, I do want to see what kind of stuff they put out, because it's one of those things where it's
Yeah.
like, even if I don't like it, I am curious to see what this line of thinking gets you, and like what art comes out of it. Actually, I'm not gonna call it art, because I personally think that art is human driven. But like, regardless, you know, like,
Yeah.
I want to see how it is. But we'll go from there.
Yeah. You know what game? Like, if he does make a game, do you know where you can't play it on?
Where?
The 2K launcher.
Oh man, too soon. Okay. PC Gamer reports that 2K removes its pointless game-breaking launcher from its entire catalog. I think this is a little bit of a biased headline, but I agree with it 100%. I think this is a great take. Basically 2K launcher has been removed from all 2K games. I know you've experienced 2K launcher. For anybody who hasn't, it is by far the worst launcher to ever exist. It's worse than Epic Games. It's worse than Ubisoft. It's worse than EA. Those are all, they at least work, right? And they don't tank your performance utterly, you know? This one, dude, whether it's Civ, whether it's XCOM, any 2K game that you play just gets rocked by this thing. It's the worst launcher.
Yeah, I've had a couple of crashes, man, and it's pretty annoying. Because like I initially I didn't really think much of it, but then when I look back, it's like, yeah, it really does kind of just like it's the only good thing I can say is that it didn't require a username and password.
Yeah, correct.
With Ubisoft, it required like I have to go open that. Like
it's just pointless. Like no one's gonna buy, from that launcher.
Yeah. Like I think very much, and maybe it was just like a metrics grabbing kind of thing, where it's like, oh, let's try to inject ourselves at the point of where the game launches, just so that we can grab player statistics and things like that, so they can, because some of that stuff is valuable, you know. So
True.
That's my thought as to why these guys have a death grip on it. But at least like EA and Ubisoft are like, oh well, we're gonna sell off of our platform, so they can kind of side cut Steam possibly.
Maybe, but like, come on,
yeah,
like I remember booting it Midnight Suns through Steam. Oh my god, dude, that thing was a pain, because like the 2K launcher would just destroy the performance, and I don't know why it was ever a thing, but I'm glad it's gone.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see what happens next with that. Speaking of what's happening next, Lies of P. You play Lies of P, right?
Briefly. I should have played it more, but I don't know, man. I just couldn't get into it for some reason.
Fair. I played it till completion. I really enjoyed it, but I'm also I very much like the formula. I thought it was really fun. I think it's like the best Souls. I don't want to say ripoff because that has a negative connotation, but this best Souls inspired, whatever, like copy out there easily.
Yeah, because I have heard it's like the only one that has matched the vibe.
Correct.
Like, it's like, oh, if FromSoft made a Pinocchio Dark Souls, it could very much land.
It's a cleaner Bloodborne, straight up.
Yes,
that's how I looked at it, and it played really well. I felt like it was a little short, but still, it was cool, and I think it's really good. I do want to play more of it. That being said, Lies of P DLC is coming into the first quarter of 2025, as the developer also confirms their next game. So this is big news. I'm excited for the 2025 like DLC. I think we're gonna get an announcement at Game Awards, but we can get into that like later. But yeah, they also announced that they're gonna be working on a sci-fi title as well as a sequel. So I'm excited. I want to see what this looks like, and I do want to play more of it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if how things go. I mean, it's nice that like us, because like Lies P I think was like the studio's first game, if I'm not mistaken, or I guess first big splash, and I think it's like some random Korean team. So, hey man, give more folks their flowers, I guess.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Okay, so last story I kind of threw in there, just because I think it's like it's one of those things where I saw it and I thought this was kind of neat. Baldur's Gate 3 has added 12 new subclasses to all the entire, like to every class in the game. So the way subclasses work is that like you pick like a bard, for example, and within the bard there's like 3 different classes you can do: College of like Song, College of whatever. And now they've set it essentially a 4th one, 5th one, however many there are in each class, which is really cool because it's like they didn't have to do that. The game is complete. There's so much already in there. I don't know if they're working with modders for it or whatever the case is, but like this just shows, like, I think they genuinely deserve like the labor of love category for, I don't know if it's Steam Awards or Game Awards, I can't remember which one has it, but they released a mod manager. They're releasing 12 more official subclasses. Like, it's just like I think they're just like, yeah, why not? Like, we have it. Like, here you go. You know.
Yeah, it's. I'm looking over some of the stuff. It's like they literally have like a path. Dang, is this? Are there actually 12 classes in the game?
Yeah, there are.
Oh, okay. So okay, makes sense. I'm just surprised because I think they just like tweaked everything, man. It's like they didn't need to do this, but I guess they felt like they like had it in the tank. This is probably like someone was working on something and they're like, you know what, fine, let's just roll it out.
Yeah, I think it makes
a game
sense.
jammers or type B.
Yeah, they're like, hey Ted, you finished that? Yeah, actually. Oh shit! All right, release it. Why not? You know.
I guess yeah. Sure.
I don't know if you saw this article I listed in it, but the rogue swashbuckler. It's basically the subclass for the rogue is a swashbuckler, and it says this is basically a pirate. I am making Goro Majima, which is, you know, of course.
Yeah.
The
OG.
The OG. Yakuza, man. OG. But yeah, that was the news. Fun week. Good amount of information in there. Let me see here. Any closing remarks? Anything you wanna shout out, say, plan for?
Do you want to decide we can decide right now
All right, I have my Game Pass open. I'm gonna hit the surprise me button.
Okay.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. What do we get here? Is it gonna give me like a? Oh, interesting. Dead Space 2008. Okay, not bad. We gotta do it. You want to do the remake?
Okay, here I've already played the remake.
Okay. What do you think? No? Yes?
I mean, if you like, do I have to play it again?
No, I don't think so. I think.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
If you if you want, you can play it, and then we can talk about it next time.
Are you scared, little baby? Scared?
Listen, bro. Halloween is over, bro. I'm just.
Okay, I'll play the remake.
It gets dark at like 4 p.m. here, man.
Okay, fair.
No.
Okay, cool. The next game on Is It Gas on Game Pass is the Dead Space remake.
Sure.
Cool. Sounds good. I will install that right now.
Closing remarks, I would say y'all should, if you got it this far, comment, actually no, if you made it this far, comment in the down below on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're listening. Comment gas. 3 gases.
And also comment what price gas is in your local neighborhood. I'm curious.
How much you guys pay for electricity? Actually,
hey, can you get some of the taxes?
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything.
you also should try out games that you don't think you're gonna like. You never know. I'm out here playing freaking racism. No, one thing I will say actually real quick about Metaphor. It's crazy because these guys weren't joking about the racism. Because like I would go into shops and be like, actually, I'm not gonna sell to you. I can't. I'm like, what the hell? Well, sometimes I'm just walking down the street, and the game. Okay, so like since it's like JRPG, if there's dialogue happening to you, the game pauses. You read the text on the bottom, and then you can exit.
Yeah,
you can kind of press X. I'm just walking down the street. This dude, like from the window, just yells something at me. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, dude, I'm waiting for the in-game event of just like the equivalent of essentially 9/11 in this game, where it's like something horrible. I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm saying like something horrible happens, and they're like, "Ew, that guy, get him!" That guy's a Mohammed. Get him. You know, like that kind of reliving my trauma essentially. But But yeah, I'm gonna play some more Metaphor. I'm gonna play more Outer Wilds, and now I guess I'm playing Dead Space. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, I enjoy it. I might get scared and poop my pants, but we'll find out. Yeah. Like Ahmed said, if you've made it this far, comment gas, and like Hadi said, tell us the price of gas in your local neighborhood. Yeah. All right, you want to play League?
Let's do it. Actually, I'll boot up right now.
Okay. All right, y'all have a good one. Bye.
See ya.